was a rigged, disgraceful trial. A disgrace. They wouldn't give us a venue change. The real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people. Our whole country is being rigged right now. This was done by the Biden administration. It's okay. I'm fighting for our country. I'm fighting for our Constitution. And I think it's just a disgrace. And we'll keep fighting. We'll fight till the end and we'll win.
Senate Republicans initiate boycott. Senate Republicans have effectively halted proceedings in Washington by staging a significant boycott. Their strategy involves refusing to consider any of President Biden's judicial nominees or spending bills. This move is a response to what they perceive as Democrats overstepping, especially following recent controversies involving former President Trump. This situation goes beyond procedural disagreements. It represents a major political confrontation. The Republicans' blockade highlights the deepening divisions in U.S. politics, where cooperation has become rare and confrontation is prevalent. By stopping the Senate's normal operations, Republicans aim to slow down the Biden administration's agenda and draw attention to their issues. Their message is clear: they will not allow Democrats to proceed unchallenged. The GOP is using this boycott to increase pressure, insisting that their concerns be addressed before any legislative progress can occur. This standoff is more than just a tactic for headlines. It's a strategic move in the complex arena of political maneuvering. By obstructing legislative action, Republicans hope to compel the administration to negotiate and potentially make concessions. It's a high-stakes game of brinkmanship, with each side waiting to see who will compromise first. As the boycott continues, its effects will spread throughout the political landscape, influencing everything from judicial appointments to the federal budget. It underscores the profound divisions in contemporary American politics, where every action is part of a broader strategy and the stakes are exceedingly high. The GOP boycott is not merely a protest, it is a significant political statement. Perceived attack of power. The Republican boycott is a strong response to what they perceive as the Democratic Party's misuse of power, especially evident in the handling of Trump's impeachment trial. GOP leaders argue that the trial and conviction were politically motivated attacks aimed at the former president rather than genuine justice. This belief has solidified their resolve to block judicial nominees and spending bills, viewing it as a stand against a process they consider unfair and partisan. For Republicans, this boycott is not merely a protest but a defensive strategy to safeguard their interests. They are pushing back against what they see as Democratic overreach, determined to stop the Biden administration's agenda. The GOP views this standoff as essential to limiting Democratic power and highlighting their grievances. By refusing to participate in current proceedings, Republicans aim to compel a reconsideration, insisting their concerns be taken seriously. They see the blockade as a crucial move to uphold their principles and challenge what they view as a partisan attack on their party and its leaders. The boycott is more than a tactical maneuver. It is a bold declaration of resistance. In a highly polarized political landscape, Republicans are leveraging every available tool to make their case. They believe that by stalling legislative process, they can force Democrats to reconsider their approach. This standoff highlights the deep partisan divide in U.S. politics, where each side is engaged in a battle for power and influence. The GOP's boycott, driven by a perceived need to counter Democratic overreach, exemplifies the intense and ongoing struggle defining the current political era. GOP's unified stand. Senator Marco Rubio, a prominent Republican, has taken a strong stance by sharply criticizing the Biden administration and the Democratic Party. In a recent statement, Rubio accused the White House of undermining the rule of law and vowed that Republicans would not support any legislation unrelated to national security. The firm position signifies a unified effort by GOP senators to block funding and judicial appointments that do not pertain to national security. Rubio's declaration is part of a broader Republican strategy to obstruct the Biden administration's agenda and address the frustrations of their base, which feels increasingly marginalized by recent political developments. By halting progress on judicial nominees and spending bills, Republicans aim to limit Democratic power and compel a reassessment of their approach. The GOP's boycott is not merely a protest but a calculated effort to defend their interests and counter what they perceive as Democratic overreach. By focusing exclusively on national security matters, Republicans seek to emphasize their dedication to core issues while restricting the administration's progress on other fronts. As this political impasse persists, the effects of the boycott will be evident in various aspects of governance, highlighting the intense and ongoing struggle for power in Washington. Rubio's outspoken criticism and the GOP's unified blockade mark a significant monument in the escalating conflict between the two parties. Impact on gun rights. The Republican boycott carries substantial implications for gun rights advocacy, signaling a staunch commitment to protecting Second Amendment rights. By blocking funding for measures they deem backdoor gun control, GOP senators are reinforcing their dedication to defending these freedoms. This move is especially significant for gun rights advocates who fear increased regulation and restrictions under the current administration. By stalling legislative efforts aimed at new gun control measures, the boycott serves as a temporary safeguard for gun rights supporters. GOP senators view this strategic halt as a crucial defense against what they perceive as government overreach, ensuring that constitutional freedoms remain intact. This boycott underscores the Republicans' resolve to push back against the Biden administration's agenda, aligning with the concerns of their base who feel threatened by potential gun control legislation. It's a calculated maneuver to maintain the status quo on gun rights and prevent any erosion of the Second Amendment. For gun rights advocates, this blockade is a direct response to fears of increased regulation. By using their legislative power to freeze funding for gun control measures, Republicans aim to protect the interests of gun owners and uphold their constitutional rights. The boycott reflects a broader strategy to challenge the administration's policies and assert Republican priorities in the ongoing political battle. The GOP boycott not only disrupts the legislative process but also sends a clear message about their unwavering commitment to defending gun rights. It highlights the deep partisan divide over this contentious issue and underscores the lengths to which Republicans will go to protect what they view as fundamental freedoms. This move provides a significant, albeit temporary, shield for gun rights supporters amidst a highly polarized political climate. Departure from Democratic Party. In a significant political shift, Senator Joe Manchin has formally left the Democratic Party, registering as an independent. This move underscores the broader political ramifications of the current partisan strife and signals a potential realignment of political alliances. Manchin's departure is seen as a reaction to the growing polarization within the Democratic Party and his dissatisfaction with its direction. Manchin's decision highlights the fracturing within the Democratic Party, suggesting deep internal divisions. As an influential centrist, his departure could substantially impact legislative dynamics, potentially affecting the balance of power in the Senate. With Manchin now an independent, his votes will become even more critical, potentially complicating the passage of key initiatives from both parties. This shift underscores the challenges faced by the Biden administration in securing support for its agenda. Manchin's centrist stance has often made him a pivotal figure in Senate negotiations, and his move to independence may give him even more leverage. This development could lead to more complex negotiations and increased uncertainty in the legislative process. Joe Manchin's exit from the Democratic Party as he becomes an independent is more than a personal decision. It's a move with far-reaching implications for Senate dynamics, legislative negotiations, and the overall balance of power in Washington. This significant political shift marks a pivotal moment in an era of heightened partisanship and could signal further changes ahead. Future implications. The political fallout from the Republican boycott and the broader partisan conflict is profound, with potential long-term implications for U.S. governance. The immediate impact includes a legislative standstill, leaving critical issues like judicial appointments and budgetary measures unresolved. This paralysis in the Senate disrupts the normal functioning of government and delays essential decisions. The boycott could also significantly influence public opinion, potentially shifting voter allegiances and impacting future elections. Voters may become increasingly disillusioned with the partisan gridlock, prompting shifts in support as they seek leaders who promise to break the stalemate. This sentiment could redefine the political landscape, influencing the strategies and platforms of both parties. The departure of key figures like Senator Joe Manchin, who has left the Democratic Party to register as an independent, further complicates the political terrain. Manchin's exit underscores the internal divisions within the Democratic Party and hints at potential realignments in party dynamics. As an influential centrist, Manchin's independent stance may increase his leverage in legislative negotiations, making the passage of key initiatives even more complex. As the situation evolves, both parties will need to navigate the fallout and develop strategies for upcoming electoral battles. The Republican boycott serves as a pivotal moment in the ongoing partisan struggle, highlighting the deep divisions and the challenges of governance in a polarized environment. This standoff requires both parties to reassess their approaches and find ways to address the concerns of their constituencies while attempting to restore functional governance. The long-term implications of this boycott and the ensuing political shifts will likely shape U.S. politics for years to come, making it a critical juncture in the nation's political history. That's all for this video, folks. See you next time.